Back in 2023, AI was hallucinating libraries. Now, in 2026, it's finding exploits in 30-year-old software. The progress on AI coding is absolutely insane, but most developers don't understand what it means for their careers. They think that AI will replace them and they are effectively just doomed. But I think it replaces only a specific type of a programmer, those who can only write code. But developers with different skills will actually be more important than ever. In this video, I'll show you first where the market is moving, second, what are those hot new skills? 3. How can you actually learn them? Let's dive in. So back in 2021, being valuable meant knowing frameworks and libraries, quickly implementing tickets, and 3. knowing multiple languages. But in 2026, AI knows all of that. That's why these skills are becoming less and less valuable. However, AI's context is still very limited, and it's fantastic at working at only one file. As we know, great software engineering is understanding how all of those files work together. So the new hot skill is systems and being able to understand things like where systems break, understanding second order effects, and making correct trade-offs. And in order to do that, you need to understand things very deeply, how multiple services work together and how they behave at scale. Where are their limitations? But honestly, hearing all of this, you might ask, okay, David, all of those things sound great, but how can I actually learn those things? So here are my couple of recommendations to you. First one is learn how things work by building them. And by the way, I'm not asking you to build a production-ready database. Just build a tiny version of each one. And why? Because in order to understand the whole system, you need to understand each individual part. So start with building things you are the closest. If you're a backend developer, build an HTTP server. Build a tiny database like Redis. Go build your own compiler and your own programming language. Because honestly, for years, all of this knowledge have been abstracted from us. But debugging a complex system is so much easier when you understand each individual part. Another one is learn how computers work. There's actually a great game online called the NAND game, where you build one completely from scratch. You start from transistors and move all the way to a fully working CPU. If you're a front-end developer, build tiny React. Build a tiny virtual DOM. If you're an AI engineer, build your own language model. For that, I can strongly recommend the Andrei Karpathy's courses. They are amazing. Other resources is books. See, I actually have this one, Designing Data-Intensive Applications. It talks specifically about the challenges of scaling large and complex systems. And honestly, all of those are great, but the biggest tip I can give you is to honestly just be curious. Remember how when you were a kid, you were just insanely curious, everything was interesting to you. Then as adults, we sort of lost it and just accepted things as they are. But honestly, as software engineering is transitioning from development to reasoning about systems, it's more important than ever to have more knowledge about more things, to approach things with a child's curiosity. How is the data flowing through the internet? How is data stored on a computer? Actually, all of those things are extremely interesting if you deep dive into how things work internally. There's an absolutely amazing channel, Branch Education, who explain those things in great detail using very advanced animations, which are fun, just fantastic, honestly. So to summarize, AI will only replace you if you let it. If in 2026 you can only write code and you have no idea how any advanced system works, then you know that you got some work to do. But don't worry, you still probably got a couple of years until AI is good and cheap enough that it can actually replace those programmers who can only write code. But on the other hand, if you learn systems, you will be more valuable than you are right now, which will lead to a higher impact in your job, which will transfer to a higher salary. I'm honestly just extremely hyped for the whole future of software engineering. I think there will be more opportunity than ever. Okay, see you next time. And remember that it's only up to you whether you get replaced or not. Don't let anyone tell you that AI is replacing everybody. You are the person who decides whether they are replaced or not. See you later.